it's Jenny and welcome back to my kitchen. Today we're making the perfect sweet and salty snack. This white trash recipe, also known as white chocolate trail mix, is the perfect snack recipe. It's one of my favorites to make for game night or movie night. It's simple to make and a classic, so let me show you how to make it. Start by adding 2 cups of rice Chex cereal into a large mixing bowl. Next, we're adding 2 cups of Cheerios. Now for this recipe, I just used the standard Cheerio. I didn't use honey nut or any other kind of flavor, but the standard Cheerio for this. And then we're adding 2 cups of pretzels. Now I like to use the pretzel twist for this recipe, but you could also use pretzel sticks, just depending on what you like better. Then we're adding 1 cup of peanuts. Now I like to use lightly salted peanuts. Since we have a lot of salty snacks going in here, I use lightly salted so it can balance out the sweet and salty, because next we're going to be adding 2 cups of M&Ms. Now before we add our white chocolate or our wafers to this, I'm going to give everything a good mix so when I pour it in, I can make sure it's all evenly coated. All right, this next step might be a little controversial, but there's a few different options that you could use. I'm using these white vanilla flavored melting wafers. They're so simple to melt, and I want to make this really quick so we can get started on game night. So I'm going to show you how to use this, but you could also do white chocolate. You could use 16 ounces of white chocolate. You could use Baker's melting bars, anything that you like. Just put it in the microwave or use a double boiler to melt it, and then we're going to pour it over that mixture. But a little side note, if you are using white chocolate chips or a white chocolate bar, I highly suggest using a double boiler. I really find that microwaving them, it just doesn't always work well. So use a double boiler and melt those if you're going to use the white chocolate chips. But no matter what you use, our next step is going to be the same, because we're going to take it, we're going to pour it over our salty mixture here, and then we're going to give it a good mix. So even though I am using these melting wafers, once they cool, this is going to harden. So I'm going to try to work quickly here and just make sure everything is mixed up and well coated. And even though I'm moving quickly here and making sure everything gets mixed up, I also want to make sure that I'm not crushing all of those cereal pieces, and then we have just a bunch of crumbs. So make sure you're being gentle as you mix that in. And then our next step, we're going to add this to a large sheet pan. So if you leave it in the mixing bowl, what's going to happen is it's all going to dry and stick together. So we're going to lay it on a sheet pan so we don't just have one big ball of Chex Mix here. Let it sit for about an hour, and then once it's all dry, we can break it up into pieces and serve. As you can see, Chad gave me this suggestion to just drop it and allow it to all break into pieces on its own. If you're going to do that, use a big cutting board like I did so you don't smash up your countertops. If you can see by my face, I was actually shocked because it did work. It all just kind of broke up into pieces itself, and we have big chunks like this that we can grab to snack on. I'm taking all of my pieces and I'm adding them to a large serving bowl. You could actually just serve them on the sheet pan if you wanted to. That would work perfectly fine, but I'm going to add them right to this bowl. This stuff is so good, you're not going to be able to stop eating it. When I turned my back, Chad came into frame. He loves this stuff and he had to get a bite before we were all done. Now, a few tips for you. You could serve this right away, or you can make it ahead of time. Put it into a storage container, and this should be good on your countertops for several days. Not that it's going to last that long because you're going to want to eat it, but it could last for a few days. You can even change up the colors of the M&Ms to fit holidays like for Christmas or Easter. This white chocolate trail mix white trash recipe is done. It's so simple to make, and it is the perfect snack for a movie night or game night. I've put the recipe down in the description below, along with a link to the recipe at our website, thediaryofarealhousewife.com. There you can find this recipe. You can print it out and save it. Plus you can find hundreds of other easy recipes just like it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.